Welcome back to Web3 with Whitney. This is the beginning stages of today's episode. And I've just forgot to turn on my video. So let me do that. I'm using Fireside again and still getting used to it. And I actually would like to wipe off my camera a little bit to make it look a little bit more clear. That's better, right? I'm also going to turn it sideways. So with Fireside, it is all about participation. And I am still navigating. You know what? Never mind. I'm not going to do that today. I'm gonna go this way because the downside, if you haven't watched Fireside yet, is that it doesn't work so well horizontal. As much as I prefer the video to be that way, it works as an app much better when it's held this way. So I'm going to adjust some settings here because today I want to give out some social tokens from Rally. And there's this cool feature in here. Hey, Woody, thanks for joining. There's a feature in here. Oh, here it is, the fortune cookie. I've never used this before. So I'm going to put a link in here and explain that in a moment. And hopefully that'll work. Let's see. Woody, if you are able to, I'm curious if you can click that link. And if you do, it will, I assume that if it's clickable, oh, it looks like it's clickable. Okay. Yeah, it should be. All right, cool. Well, the link is there. This is my first time using a link on Fireside because I wanted to share some of my social token from the Rally platform, which I use to connect with my community via Web3. And I have used this tool called Bonfire, which allows me to do something called an airdrop, in which I can send people some of the social token, which is part of cryptocurrency. And so for free, no strings attached, you can get 10 of the well coin. If you're watching this on YouTube, I will do it separately because I haven't set it up. I don't know if you can see the links on here as easily. I wonder if I can edit it. Let me see, actually. I think at least on YouTube, I can edit this in real time. So let me do that. I really could use an assistant or someone to support me with these live videos because there's so much going on and so much I want to do that it's tough to talk and update links and deal with all the behind the scenes of this. So I'm actually going to pause for a moment and chop off this beginning part because I'm going to turn this into the podcast. And usually it takes, 5 minutes or so for people on Fireside to get alerted when my show goes live. So hopefully we'll get some audience participation today. But regardless, I'm going to share some updates and some tips and perspectives on what is going on in Web3. So I'm going to pause for just a few seconds to give myself a clear break, and then we'll dive into it. Hey, welcome back to Web3 with Whitney. I am recording this live on Fireside app, which is a tool I've been using and experimenting with for this live show because Fireside is really great at audience participation. There's an incredible community on this platform, and there's all sorts of neat features of this app. I feel like it's just getting started. I think Fireside has actually been around for about a year, but I didn't even know about it until about a month or two ago, and I'm determined to better understand it. And that's why I've switched over to using it, at least temporarily, for this podcast and live stream. And if you want to come join me on Fireside in the future, I will put the link in the podcast description on the YouTube channel. You can download the app for free. Check it out. There's a lot of great content on there, a lot of really interesting people talking about things, and you can actually participate in real time. And I'm going to be rewarding people who are watching live on Fireside today with an airdrop of the Well coin. That is my social token, cryptocurrency, if you will, on this platform called Rally. And Rally, for those that don't know this yet about me, is the platform that got me into Web3 very seriously. if you've never heard me talk about this before, I have this history of knowing about cryptocurrency, but not actually taking any action to buy it until uh, almost about a year ago, actually. It was, I think, in May 2021 that I bought some cryptocurrency for the very first time. But I wasn't really thinking about utilizing it as part of my work until I heard about Rally. I applied to become a creator on the Rally platform and I got accepted. I got to develop my own social token, which is called the Well coin. And I could just go on and on. I don't mean to make this whole episode about Rally. I bring it up because one cool feature of having my own social token is the ability to share it for free with others, meaning that through this magic of airdropping, I can gift people some of this coin, no strings attached. All you do is click a link. It'll direct you to this platform called Bonfire, where you basically create an account, you accept the coins, and you create a Rally account. So you're going to have to actually create two accounts, I believe. I don't think there's a way to get around a Bonfire account. But if this sounds all foreign to you, it's actually a really great way to start learning about cryptocurrency and social tokens, which I believe are going to be a big part of the future of Web3. And I'll probably explain this again when more people join live on Fireside, but that is the quick overview of that. And I want to share a little bit more about Rally for those of you who are curious, either supporting creators and other people in the Web3 world through a platform like Rally, or maybe you want to create your own social token. Maybe you're just curious about it. So we're going to talk about that a bit today. So cryptocurrency to me is one of the main parts about Web3. And one of the big benefits of cryptocurrency, and I'm going to read from my notes over here, is that it can combat inflation. And inflation has been a big concern for a lot of people recently. I've been hearing so many millennials talk about it on TikTok. I'm a millennial, so it seems to be a concern for this generation. Of course, it impacts people of all different ages, but it's really something that it seems like millennials are really getting concerned about. And I'm kind of looking at money from a lot of different angles now and trying not to get concerned. So I like that cryptocurrencies, at least according to some people, can help combat inflation because they can create a finite number of coins on a fixed schedule. They're also not tied to a country of origin. They hold and provide universal value and are able to be instantly transferred between peers worldwide, which saves time and money by cutting out the middlemen. And cutting out the middlemen is also a big phrase that I'm hearing when people talk about Web3 and the benefits of it. Example of the middlemen in this case would be banks. So I'm not an expert on cryptocurrency. I'm learning. That's the big angle with this show, Web3 with Whitney, is to show this beginner's mindset, down to earth, bringing you along the journey with me. So I'm actually reading this from the research I've done. So don't take my word for any of it. This is really just ideas, concepts to explore. And I encourage you to do your own research as well, especially when it comes to money, right? Now let's talk about the idea around being a content creator in this space and how cryptocurrency can be tied into that. One example, a resource that I had pulled up before, and I actually don't have all of my sources ahead of me, but if any of you want to know my sources, please reach out. I will try to include those in the podcast notes for this episode as well if you want to read more. One of them said that for the last decade, we've lived in a period in which ownership has been concentrated amongst a few centralized technology platforms, which owned the data, end user relationships, and the means of distributing and monetizing content. While user generated content creation exploded during this period, which some people refer to as Web 2, which we are still currently in, it also caused reliance on a handful of new gatekeepers. It created widespread burnout and economic unsustainability for the vast majority of content creators. And this is exactly why I've been exploring platforms like Rally. which I'll share more about in a moment, is this idea that I don't own my own data sometimes, neither do the viewers. This end user relationship doesn't always feel very good. And the distribution model isn't always that great. The monetization model also has some issues as well. I want to pause to say hello to the live viewers, Daniela and Woody, and let you know that at any point, if you want to come up and ask questions, or to share your thoughts on what I'm speaking about today, I would absolutely love to hear from you. This idea of the gatekeeper, too, has also been interesting because I hear a lot of content creators, and not just content creators in the sense of influencers, podcasters, etc. But also, this was talked about in the NFT LA talk that Mark Cuban gave alongside the creators of Entourage and this new project called Ramble On. They were talking a lot about this gatekeeper mentality, and you can go watch the replay actually here on Fireside. Um, that word kept coming up over and over again. So this issue is not just for somebody who's using their phone to record a TikTok video or somebody who has a podcast show. This is impacting high level producers and actors, people in Hollywood who are also really struggling with this gatekeeper setup. And so that's part of the reason they're very excited about using Web3. Heads up, I just got a notification on Fireside that I have poor network quality. Hopefully that will resolve itself. So I apologize if the audio or video gets a little iffy. And if so, then I will come back and re-record this another day. But anyways, moving towards Rally, and curious, Daniela, Andy, or Woody, have any of you heard of Rally before as a platform? If so, you can use the thumbs up emoji here. What I like is that Web3 is encouraging content creators and other creative types to move away from that traditional model, especially things like donations. Donations have been really big, especially in the content creator world with platforms like Patreon, right? We've also seen platforms like Kickstarter and these crowdfunding in which users are paying to benefit the creator, the maker of things. We're now trying to move away from that model to a value model in which the users are willing to pay more for things because it's benefiting them as well. And this is exactly why I think Rally is so amazing. And this is not a big ad for Rally, by the way. I'm using it as a way to explain the tool. And also, for those that are just joining me, I'm giving away some free Rally tokens today, which is the link in the little fortune cookie section of Fireside if you're watching on there. And if you're listening to the podcast, I will have other opportunities for you to get some more tokens as well. But this is an incentive for you to come to Fireside. My aim is to offer up free social tokens, which are my well coin on Rally, every single show that I do moving forward to encourage people to be part of the show. So I'm want to give a basis for Rally and hear from other creators. So Daniela, Deborah, Woody, Andy, if any of you are curious about how can you utilize a social token to not only benefit you, but the people that are listening and watching you, the people that are participating, the people that are really big fans of your work, you can actually create a deeper relationship with them in some really amazing ways using social tokens on a platform like Rally. Rally is not the only platform of its kind. It is just the platform that I chose and have really enjoyed using. And the reason that it's been so amazing is that they truly do empower content creators with the ability to launch and build their own digital economies. And that's something I'm still trying to get a good grasp on, right? Because to me, when I think of the word economy, it's not something that's my own, right? I'm participating in it, but I'm not controlling it. I'm not really part of it. I feel like I'm just kind of there because that's my only option. So the idea that Web3 is starting to redefine what economy means is really fascinating to me. Rally is also neat because it's independent from other platforms. So that allows you to connect with your communities like never before, truly. And this is where Web3 to me gets really, really exciting and helps me understand the utility of cryptocurrency in a whole new way. So Rally essentially, through the use of social tokens as well as NFTs, creators can create their own content, community, and monetization streams while sharing the benefits with people that are part of it, these community members. And community is such a big key in Web3. Something that probably excites me more about anything else is how can we come together and everyone's being supported, everyone owns it, everyone's benefiting from at the same time. And I think that's going to completely redefine what it means to be a content creator and take it away from someone just watching you as an audience to someone who's actually in it with you. This is also why I've been using Fireside. This is why I like live streaming. I do a lot of podcasting, but the downside to podcasting for the most part is that I'm speaking, I'm recording, I'm putting it out there, and someone may listen to me days, weeks, months, years later. We're not having a live conversation. I think that we are evolving more online in general to live participation. And if that's the case, shouldn't that person that's participating be rewarded? So, anyone in the Fireside audience, if you want to come up, you are invited right now in real time. I would love to hear your thoughts. I would love to hear your questions. We can talk about anything Web3 related. It does not have to be about social tokens and content creators and communities. That's just where I wanted to start off the conversation today and also give you some background behind the link in my fortune cookie, which is at the top. I didn't even really know about fortune cookies on Fireside until earlier today when I was reading up on best practices. And I love that I can drop that link. So the link in my fortune cookie starts with getbonfire.xyz. So Bonfire is a tool that integrates with Rally. And it's really neat because it allows people that have a Rally social token like me, mine's called the Well coin, or the Well token, I guess would be a better description of it. I integrated it with Bonfire in order to give it to other people. They call it airdropping, which allows me to just give it away. And that is just to allow people to be part of it, to check it out, to get something for free. And what's really neat about this is that the coins that you receive could be turned into either other social tokens. You could support other creators on Rally. It's not just about me. You can use it to actually get rewarded with more tokens. The Rally platform is incredible because when you hold on to your social tokens on there, you kind of earn interest in that they will continue giving you more. So the more you have, the more that you get. It's also kind of like with stocks that have dividends, right? When you will get a certain percentage of that value based on how much you're holding. Rally does this every single week, which I think is absolutely amazing. It's kind of like a high yield savings account, in my opinion, right? You just keep money in there and you get more of it. The other cool thing about it is that you can convert those coins, those tokens into fiat currency. So if you wanted to put it in your bank account, you can as well. Just keep in mind there's capital gains tax, which I'm still learning about when it comes to cryptocurrency. And maybe I'll do a whole episode on that. So it's really fascinating. And I'm just using it as a big experiment. I'm using it out of curiosity. I'm using it out of a true interest in building community and rewarding people, bringing people in. Because after being a content creator for 14 years, I've just found a lot of it feels a bit unfulfilling. And the times where I felt the most fulfilled as a content creator, whether on YouTube, on podcasts, on social media, is when I have a connection with other people, is when I get direct messages and comments and emails and meet people in real life. That has been the best part by far of putting out content, It is knowing that I'm impacting somebody else's life, that I'm helping them. It is learning from other people on these platforms. This is exactly why I'm on Fireside. Every time in the past, every Fireside's a little different, right? But every time I've come on here up until today, I've had people raise their hands and participate. So again, I would love any participation here, even if you want to take it in a whole different direction. I'm going to talk for or have this fireside going for another 10 minutes or so. So anytime you want, raise your hand, you'll come up. Everyone here is valuable and equal and worthy. And I love the people that are so passionate about Fireside and all of the ideas that they have. So here's a prompt for you. If you're sitting in the Fireside audience and you're just kind of thinking about it, like, what would you want to say or ask? I'd love to know, what utility do you hope for in Web3, whether that's through cryptocurrency, the blockchain, NFTs, metaverse, decentralized finance, all these different angles of Web3? And if you're not sure yet, maybe you can share with me, what do you know and what don't you know about Web3? Is it confusing? Is it intimidating? What would you like to see? This is another question for you. Is with where we are right now with content and community, what do you think could be improved? And I'll pause for a moment to see if anyone wants to come up and ask. And hopefully, I have my settings on that aren't getting in the way of anybody coming up on stage. I'm so new to Fireside. I still have a lot to figure out. But here comes Deborah. I'm so excited. And Deborah, you can come on audio and video too if you would like. I'll give you the option to come on video.
Well, I'm actually cooking dinner, but
what are you making?
I actually made an Impossible Burger, and I made broccoli broccoli florets.
That sounds right up my alley. That sounds delicious.
Well, I actually am not a vegetarian, but these Impossible Burgers are ridiculously good. I love them.
They are. Me too.
Anyway, I'm a songwriter, and so I've been, I joined Club Connect, and I'm trying to figure this all out. I'm not really I still don't understand the concept. I know I must be very thick or something of the blockchain and NFTs as it could possibly relate to music. I understand the art part of it. I do. But why, I understand the concept is this right? That somebody could something and there'd be a few numbers of them, right? And so they could own them and pass them on too, right? To other, like hanging a picture on your wall and then somebody else hangs a picture, the same picture, it gets passed on, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Essentially. I'm learning this too, along with you, Deborah. I'm no means an expert, but yes, that is part of the concept of it.
Okay, so how would that work theoretically with songs or music? Rather corporate, publishing deal with a company, let's say.
I love that question. And I was looking to see if I had some specific notes on this. Part of my education in Web3 is I try to take notes and organize them. And this is actually why a platform like Rally is pretty amazing. They have opened it up to all different types of creators and not just like an influencer, but musicians are a big part of their platform. So it's worth looking into. And what I've seen them doing on a platform like that is they can reward their fans or they can create NFTs of their music, like you're saying, Deborah. I've seen people make special songs that only the person that buys that NFT can hear that song or owns that song, right? So they might have the rights to be able to go do something with it. Part of the benefit for artists using something like NFTs is that it's traceable, basically, meaning that if every time that's sold, it always comes back to the original creator. Their name is always on it. And as you might know, as a musician, somebody could take your music and use it in a way that you did not give permission. Somebody could take it and put it somewhere and you would never get credit for it. So the idea with the blockchain is that it's always kept in, there's a document of every transaction, which always gives you credit for it and gives you royalties along the way if it's set up that way.
Right. But your audience has to be other people who want to hear it that way. So, right. I mean, we're kind of ahead of the game with that with music right now because people are still trying to figure that out. But one of the things that frustrated me is that I went on TikTok and I'd found one of my songs that was being used and somebody else had claimed it. I got really freaked out.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote to my publishing company and I said, "What is going on?" I'm sorry, my wife is playing trumpet down the basement. She's a trumpet
I like it
player.
actually. It sounds kind of nice.
So, it was frustrating. And then I thought, well, if I did some of my songs as NFTs, I'd be able to control it and regulate it. But I want to also dispel the myth, or maybe if it isn't a myth, you got to be honest with me about how bad this is. It's not green for the environment because of how much, uh, it affects the climate change thing. Can you tell
Mhm.
me that too?
Yeah, actually, I'm working on I've been going to time it out for Earth Day this year because that's, a huge part of my work history has been on the environmental side of things. And so I've certainly felt curious and a bit concerned, although ultimately everything I've read, there's been some sort of a solution for it. So I'm compiling a whole episode that I'll probably do here on Fireside in a week or two, all about the blockchain and the environment. I'm still kind of piecing it together. But I feel hopeful that we will find a way to figure that out and balance it out without it doing any major harm. And I think ultimately we're still in the new stages. So similar to any other developments, there's that people are probably not optimizing it. Like they're probably a lot of the concerns is like all the energy it's taking to mine Bitcoin, for example. So people are switching over to different types of cryptocurrency that don't work in the same way. This is where it starts to get kind of tech
Yeah,
complex.
this is
Mhm.
interesting now. But now I
Yeah.
found this interesting because I don't know if you know this. I'm sorry to interrupt, but
Yeah.
this Sunday on Good Morning America, they did a whole thing on Bitcoin, um,
Oh.
and they made it very um, easy to understand. But there are so many. They showed so many companies. There's like Ethereum. There's Bitcoin. There's this. There's that. It's like the stock
Mhm.
market. It
Yep.
literally is a crypto stock market. Am I right?
It is. Yes, absolutely. So I've been talking about social tokens, and then there's cryptocurrency coins. And so, yes, there's these platforms and marketplaces where people can go buy very much like the stock market. And it's there's a similar risk involved. They work differently than the stock market. I actually did a previous episode all about the differences between cryptocurrency and the stock market for anyone who's curious about it. But I see a lot of parallels to it. So, absolutely, you can kind of do your research and decide which you're interested in and purchase it and watch it kind of go up and down. One key difference is that the cryptocurrencies are always on, unlike Wall Street, which has certain hours. Cryptocurrency is constantly changing in price every second, which can be kind of stressful or kind of cool, depending on how
Right.
you
So
look at it.
basically, what they came to the conclusion of at the end of the segment of Good Morning America on Sunday, if you should watch it, it's great. Is that if you have money that you can throw around that you may
Hmm.
never see again,
Yep.
do it.
Yes.
Invest, see what happens. But it shouldn't be money that like is your last like savings account money.
100%. I kind of look at it as like gambling, going to Vegas, whatever. Like that when I first started buying cryptocurrency, that's exactly what I did is I had a certain amount of money that I was willing to risk. I put it in. And I also looked at it from a long-term perspective. I have never sold any of my cryptocurrency to, I'm trying to think. I have a variety of it. And I just said, I'm putting it in and I'm just going to see what happens. But it's not money that I'm afraid to lose. It's money that I can afford to lose. I think that is a really smart approach. I'm not a financial advisor by any means. So you always have to
Right.
say, hey, this is just my opinion. But certainly I would agree with that, Deborah, from my approach.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, those are
Well,
all the
I think
questions.
for you as a musician, Deborah, it is really worth it. Again, I've been talking about Rally. If you go to rally.io, you can look at how some of the other musicians on that platform are utilizing it. And it's really amazing. They have incredible case studies of big musicians, independent musicians, how they're using things like NFTs, how they're connecting with their community and rewarding them. I've invested in some musicians or bought their social tokens, I should say. And it's just really neat to see. You can on their platform with Rally, you can redeem the social tokens for merch or a private listening session. And like there's kind of all these neat ways to unlock experiences while you're supporting a musician. And for you, Deborah, like you can find ways to reward your community in a more enriched way than you could on previous crowdfunding or donation models.
Why do
And
you
that
like
really
Rally?
excites me. Well, I like Rally because it's easy. I like Rally because I believe in their mission. They're deeply committed to supporting creators and doing it in new ways. I've been on their platform since August. It's just been amazing. I'm constantly learning and meeting other people. That's actually, Deborah, if I had to say, my favorite part is that I've met incredible content creators, entrepreneurs, creative types on that platform that I probably wouldn't have connected to otherwise, similar to Fireside. So, and I just
Fantastic.
think their use cases too. Even if you don't want to use their platform, just looking at their blogs, looking at how people are using it will give you ideas for how you could do similar things in the Web3 space.
I'm gonna check it out. So it's what you just put in the fortune cookie, right?
The fortune cookie actually is a link to get some free of my rally coin, which is called the well coin. So I don't know if it's all been claimed. I haven't monitored it, but one thing that's really neat about that platform is you can share it for, like I can give it away basically. So I'm going to start doing that in every fireside. And Deborah, I would love to send you some extra for participating. So
Oh
I
my
just
God.
have to figure out how to do that. But if you, I don't, I know there's no
Well,
messaging
there is
here on
messaging. No, there's
Fireside.
messaging.
There is? Is that
You
new?
push no, you push the reaction button. I'm going to do it now.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
you can add a reaction. But if I only want you to see it, then I
Oh,
can send you a private message too.
amazing. Send me a private message. I'm going to send you some extra well coins, and then you can be invested in Rally in a different way. And for anyone else
Okay.
listening, if you click the link and it hasn't been, I only put it for 10 people today, but the first 10 people to redeem it will get some free well coin from me. And if you didn't get it today, then come back to a future fireside because I'll do it every session from now
It's
on.
if you look right now in the above my head, it'll show you that I
Oh,
put something in the
cool.
main chat. If you see a little thought thing, um,
Yeah,
and
that's
so
awesome.
that's everybody that has joined the show and everything. But I also have another. It's in the anyway. It doesn't matter. I'll do it the other way.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to jump down and let other people come up if they want to, because I'm really interested in hearing what everyone wants to ask you and stuff. So
Well, yeah, absolutely. I'm actually going to wrap up today because I need to go have dinner. But I will be back. This is part of a regular show that I'm going to be doing here. I probably do it every Monday. So if you want to be part of this, if you want to earn some more rally coin from me, if you want to ask questions, whatever I can do, the my aim with this show Web3 with Whitney has been to share my journey, answer questions, learn from other people. Like we're all in this together. I truly believe it. I think that's how Web3 is going to thrive and shine, and we're able to transition away from things that we didn't love or don't currently love about how things are done on the web. Right now, that's my hope. So I would love to have anyone here on Fireside. Those are the of you that are listening to the podcast recording, those that are on YouTube or Facebook. I just, whatever I can do to support you. So stay tuned. I'll be back again soon. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lewis and Deborah, for participating and clapping, and Andy for being down in the audience throughout. I appreciate you truly. And if you want to private message me and you are unable to do that here on Fireside, I'm very easy to find on social under @Whit Lauritsen. That's WHIT LAURITSEN. You can also go to whitneylauritsen.com, and there's actually a Web3 section there where you can submit questions for future episodes. So I would love anything that I can do. I would love to learn more about who you are and what you do, and make sure that you get all of those questions answered. And until then, I'm wishing you all the very best with your own Web3 journey as you're exploring